everybody, it's Jacqueline here from Pudgy Cat Games, and today we are going to be looking at a solo playthrough of Honey Buzz with the Fall Flavors expansion. Bear with me for 1 second as I try to get the camera to be just high enough for you to see everything without it being too tall. So hold on, I'm just going to raise you up a little bit more. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the whole streaming thing. That is different than the pictures and videos that I usually write. But as I was looking for a how to play for this online, I couldn't find one. So I decided that it might be a good idea to do this in case anybody else is looking for it. So I went through all the rules and I think we are pretty much good to go. So this is the first time I will be playing with the expansions. The Honey Buzz Fall Flavors actually has a bunch of different expansions that you can add into it. So I will be using the Fall Fruit expansion standard game and the Autumn Leaves expansion. And again, we will be playing solo, so if you were looking for a multiplayer tutorial, this will not be it. But hopefully for those that are looking to play this solo, we'll be ready to go. So to set up, you're going to take, for the Fall Leaves expansion, each leaf set has 6 of these that have the cute little shiny leaves on them, and mix them in with the base tiles after having removed 6 base tiles from each stack. So basically you're supplementing the shiny leaf tile with the basic tile that kind of looks like this guy. And then you'll stack them up just like normal. Then on the board here, you will see we have a different layout and different names for the nectar that we are going to be collecting. And we also have some fruit tokens now. So rather than collecting pollen, we will be collecting fruit. So to set that up for the solo mode, you're going to take 1 pumpkin, 1 pear, and 2 apples. You can lay them out kind of however you would like. And for these, again, they have the tile on the back that matches. You're going to take all but 2 of each and lay them out in this particular grid. If you were playing with more people, the layout actually has other variations. But for the solo mode, this is what your layout will roughly look like. Things might obviously get mixed up. You are going to place all your nectar tiles on here. And because you were playing a solo or, quote, 2-player version, each one of these is going to be down 1. And then for the fruit, you're just going to pick a fruit of your choice and just use it as the marker. It doesn't matter. They're just for decoration. But can we look at how cute these are? I hope that they are in focus. There's an apple, a pear, and a pumpkin, and they are squishy just like the nectar. After that, we are going to have set up our initial orders up here. Again, making sure you're using the solo contest cards just like you would in the normal solo game. I added in the solo contest card for the leaves. I do believe this is in addition to the top 3, but I'm honestly not completely sure about that, so I apologize in advance if that's incorrect, but we're going to play as though it's additional. Same thing with the fall foliage one. This is going to give us 1 point per leaf that we place, as well as 5 points per set. If you're ever unsure as to which ones they are, there is a nice little card reference sheet in here for the foliage cards. The back has the toast cards. We are not using that expansion today, but it will be something that I will look at in the future. Then you will take the worker, the drone bee deck. There is one specifically for this version. So you want to make sure you're playing with the fall deck, not the regular deck. I'm just going to put that off to the side. I believe you can still see that. Yeah, it's on the camera. We're good. And then on the bottom, you have your normal 3 sets down here where you have the 2 large orders with a small order on top. But you're also going to have a special one down here now, which is the fruit orders. So there'll be 3 of them in total for the solo mode. And again, first one gets flipped over just like normal. You will then start with your 1B. So this is me. I'm going to put him over here. Your fan, your 5-point starter piece, and then your layout. I realize that's probably the one thing you can't really see, so I'm actually going to shift this over and we'll move things as I need to. Oh, we're losing stuff. I'm just going to, if that's out of the way, that's okay. This is kind of just our storage spot. Our extra worker bees are off to the side over here. And on the side, out of view, I also have all of the different nectar tokens and the coins. I really should have splurged for the pretty wooden coins, but I did not at the time. You will then also take one of these reference guides, so that way you know what the different shapes you're making are. The opposite has a reminder for what each thing does. And finally, you're going to take the 2 drone bees. These are your kind of AI bot bees. One goes on this section with the accounting and the decree, and one goes over here. Nope, I lied. It goes down here, I believe. I think it goes with the market. Let me double check that. I'm actually not positive. Drones are going on the decree and accounting and the market. Yep, so that's where these 2 are going to be. And that's it for setup. So now we are going to jump right in. In solo mode, you always go first. So the one thing I know is I always want more bees. You initially only start with 1 bee, and you'll have to be able to recall them all as a turn in order to get them back. So I like to try to get my bees kind of sooner rather than later to maximize the turns that I am taking. Also, I apologize in advance if anybody is commenting. I cannot see because I'm streaming from my phone, but I will look later and answer any questions if anybody has them. So feel free to leave a comment if you do have a question. Additionally, this guy is going to go back over here, and where did my little other nectar tile go? I had 1 somewhere, but we're missing it. Sorry, just a sec as I try to find the remaining nectar tile. I was using it as an example before, and now it is missing. Did it fall off the table? Totally not. Oh, here it is. Okay. So my final nectar tile, I'm going to add that to it. So first up, as I mentioned, I would like bees, especially because in the solo game, you never know what's going to be blocked. Right now, getting bees is open, so we are going to do that. So I will take my bee, put him over here, and I am going to gain myself 1 of these. This also has a leaf on it, which is good because I'm gaining 1 point per leaf, as well as 5 points per set. So now I might want to think about trying to cut maybe this leaf later because it's different, or this one that has both. And for the sake of getting bees sooner rather than later, I am going to close my circle up over here. So from having done so, I will gain 2 worker bees. They're going to go into the nursery. An action of my choice, I will take a 3rd worker bee and the forage option. So I'm going to hop right onto this spot and forage this tile just like you would in the base game. And as this matches the design that I have over here, I can add this into the middle. Alright, now the worker bees are up. Just like in the the base game's version of solo mode, you will flip over 1 of these cards, and then we have to either remove the sunflower tile that is closest to me, which would either be this guy or this guy. This one's actually a little bit closer, so I could remove that, or I could drop the value of the sunflower down. Keeping in mind, I believe the game ends when at some point there's 2 of those hit the bottom. I actually should double check that. I haven't played the whole game in a long time, but let's see. So the game is going to end when either 4 of the 5 resources cannot drop any farther, or 2 of the 3 stacks down here have been completed. So in this case, I think it's 3 of the 4 because there are 4 of them. I'm checking about the 3 of the 4 part, just in case we need to know. Market action, forward action. I do not see it specified in here, so we are just going to go with if 2 of the 4 are done for now. Alright, so I don't think I want to start dropping these yet. I'd kind of rather them keep their value, especially because I'm trying to get some sunflowers. So I will discard this one. I'm just going to put it off to the side. So now I am up yet again, and I have no worker bees, so it is time to recall our bees. So when we go to recall our bees, we get to do a couple of things here. So first up, I get to retrieve all of my workers. So that's my worker that's on the board, as well as my new workers from the nursery. I can then also scout for nectar. So I can move my forage token one space for free. And what's cool with this version is I don't have anywhere that I could put a nectar token yet because I haven't completed anything. However, I could go here and I could choose to gain a pumpkin. So when I go to the market, I can sell my fruits for whatever I would like, as many of them as I would like. Pumpkins are worth 4, I believe pears are worth 3, and apples are worth 2. So when you are taking the market action, that is something new that can happen. You can sell as many as you'd like, and then if you do sell a full set of different fruits, you also gain coins equal to the value indicated by the price marker. So if I sold a full set right now, I would get 4 for the pumpkin, 3 for the pear, 2 for the apple, plus 7 for the full set. So collecting fruit is definitely going to be a helpful way to gain some points here. As a reminder for solo mode, when it comes to the end of the game, I do need to be paying attention to these Queen's orders because if I don't score enough points in them, I am playing on the pupa mode, so I need to score at least 35 points. So if I don't score enough points there, no matter how good I do scoring points in total, it won't matter because I have lost the game. I actually won't even score myself if I fail here. So I need to be paying attention to completing orders. So the more of them that I can complete, great. So I really want to make sure that I'm looking down here to see what I need. So my little sunflower is doing pretty good. I also think I might want some buckwheat because both of the front ones have buckwheat. Nectar clusters total, so I want to be completing these clusters. And then 1 nectar of each of the types. So at the end of the game, I want to have at least 1 of each nectar. As well as, so again, I really want to make sure I don't have none because I'd be losing a lot of points here. But 35 points is a pretty substantial amount. That means I need to get at least the higher level of 2 of them as well as the highest level of at least 1. So we're going to really be going for it and see what happens here. Alright, so now I've recalled my bees. I did that. The drone bees are up again. So we are just simply going to flip over their card here. And we have sunflower yet again. So right now, this one is 3 away. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. This one is also 3 away. This one is closer to the buckwheat, which I think I also sort of want. So I'm debating if I should maybe consider getting rid of this guy at the moment. That one is also 3 away, so also a possibility. However, these two are right next to each other, so I think that that might be a good choice. But that does limit my ability to get down here to this guy. But yeah, we will ditch this one for now and hope that that is the right choice. Next up, newbie. I failed to mention this before because he was already on the spot, or he wasn't. He's supposed to move to the produce spot, so he was supposed to go over here. So that's the second action the bee takes. So now in this case, this bee is going to move to the newbie spot. All right, so back to me. Here we go. So I have a pumpkin. I have a bunch of bees. I'm close to completing 3 different shapes right now. So this guy down here would give me another bee, which is always good. And decree action of my choice. Very cool. Versus this one would let me produce. However, right now I only have 1 singular nectar tile on the board. So it's not doing a ton for me at the moment. I think I'd kind of rather get another nectar tile, so if I'm producing, maybe I can gain extra resources. So I think I'm going to use one of my worker bees and go here. That also gives me another leaf, which I like. So now I have to think about how I want to lay this out, because I can put this guy here, which is good. But do I want this to be this way, where I can work toward a circle over here or over here? Honestly, neither of them's really started, and I have more room off to the side this way, so we're going to aim to go that way. Alright, so I've completed another spot here. So it is time to take our actions. So again, we are going to add a bee to the nursery. We have an action of our choice, which I'll think on in just a moment. And we have the move a spot. So right now, I can move 1 space for free. However, my spaces next to me involve getting a pumpkin, getting an apple, or getting this guy, which doesn't fit in here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move here for one, and then this shape around the outside happens to be this shape right here. So I think I'm going to consider paying to be able to move again. So when it comes to this, I believe it costs 2. But again, let's check the rules because I am a little rusty. So collect. So you can spend 2 coins per extra space that you want to move. As I mentioned, I started with 5 coins, so I'm going to spend those. I'll get 3 back. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to move up here and collect this guy. So put that right on here. Now, I think for my next action, I have some bees already available, so I'm not super concerned about getting more bees at this very moment. But I do think I'd like to start collecting some of the nectar, so that way I can try to start completing these goals. Because I know I need to be doing nectar clusters, I know I need to be fulfilling goals. I don't really care a whole lot about selling stuff right now, but these are important because if the drone bees start getting rid of these, it's going to make it a lot harder for me to score this one. So I think I'm going to produce. So for producing, I place my fan token on any space within my hive. Each adjacent nectar tile that space touches produces 1 honey. So I'm going to take my little fan and I'll throw it on top of the baby bee. So it's touching both of these. So I will gain a sunflower and a buckwheat into my resources over here. And that is all. So now our drone bee friends are going to be up. They are removing a buckwheat, so it was a good thing I went for that buckwheat. Again, I don't really care too much about the pricing of this yet. I might regret that decision later if I do actually manage to win and need to score it. But for now, it's kind of okay. That being said, there's only 2 buckwheats left on the board. So I don't necessarily think I want the buckwheat to be removed at the moment, so we are just going to drop the value of the buckwheat. And then this bee is going to move up to the forage spot. Oh, as mentioned before, I actually couldn't have gone there even if I wanted to place a new bee, because, or never mind, scratch that completely. Alright, so they're moved, it's back over to me. So again, I'm starting to have some spots where maybe I could do things. I don't necessarily, doing a fan action again might be kind of cool, because I could get some additional resources here. And so let's think. If I fill this action in, I can use this one to produce, which would let me, or not produce, to forage, which would let me wiggle around and try to find a spot. So let's see. If I fill this in, it would be one that matches the sunflower, because it would be orange, 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 and 2 whites, which is actually pretty good for me. I think I like that. So I would like to forage, I would like to produce, and then I think I would like to be able to go to the market. So we're going to take a market tile for this one. And I think I'm going to wind up potentially needing to fill in more things with foraging. So I'm going to place this down here and bet on the fact that I want to try to complete this circle. And I'm hoping you all can still see the board. So let me confirm. Yep, we're still in sight. So as I start to move downward, I will have to adjust if I run out of space. All right, so again, I filled in a circle here. So let's see, we get the 3 actions. So first up, I'm gonna use my decree action, which this is really nice that I got to use it all 3 times, because that's typically the maximum amount of times you can use an action. So I really made the most of the decree, which is good because if I ever wanted to place a decree, it costs 5 per thing. So it's helpful to be able to do that to get some money, or do that without having to pay the money. So I'm going to use this to do the forage thing. So again, I can only move 1 space, so that would move me to here. I want this one, so I'm going to pay my 2 coins, pay these guys, move an extra space, get over here, collect that, and put this guy right in here. I then would like to do my fan thing with the producing. I'm going to put that right in the middle, and each one of these is going to produce a honey. So I will take 2 sunflowers, and 1 buckwheat. And then I'm going to do my marketing action. And by marketing, I mean going to the market. We are not doing marketing. So at the market, I can do a couple of things. So I can either sell one type of honey, or I can complete an action, or I could sell the fruits. I am going to complete one of these because I really want to try to score that sooner rather than later. Knowing that I'm likely going to be getting more of these guys faster than more of the buckwheat, I think I'm going to complete the buckwheat one while I have the 2 buckwheat, because I only need to get 1 additional one to be able to complete that, and I already have enough stars to be able to complete other things. This, I believe, when I complete it, I also will get to take this action again, which is helpful for me right now. So I am going to, actually, how does this one work? If I complete this, do I get to do a second one? Because I could then do both of these, which would be really cool. So when I sell something to the market, I completed an order. So choose a face-up order and complete that by returning the resources that match that order. Take the order card and place it in front of you. It will be worth points at the end of the game. When you complete an order, you also activate the icon printed right below. So forage, market, or produce. You can take the corresponding action if possible, but you may take it at any time before the end of your turn. So we are going to do that because this way I'll be able to complete 2 of these in 1 turn, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to take this one, which is worth 6 points. I'll store this up here just to keep them out of the way. And we'll return 1 of these and 1 of these. I will then, I believe these get revealed at the end of my turn, yeah. So I will then get my bonus market action and do that again. And I will complete this one and return both my sunflowers. And that's it. So now we're doing good. We've completed 2 total orders so far. So right now we're still not in the positive, but we're getting there. We need to really get up to 6. So if I can get 4 more out of the 15 or 12 that are here, we'll be in good shape. So there's 12, we lost 2, so there's 10 left. We need to get 4 more. And then nectar clusters, we already have 1, 2, 3. So if I can get 1 more, we'll be in the positive. If I can get 3 more, we'll be looking really good. And then nectar of all 4 types. I actually need to check exactly what that means for this one. So let me confirm what the specifics are for that one. I do believe it is having 1 of each of the kinds of nectar. I don't know if it means on your board or remaining at the end of the game. I think it's on your board. I need to collect 1 of each of them. Let me see. We're going to go with that because I don't see a specific explanation of it. But I do believe that that would be what makes the most sense, is having at least 1 on your board, not like a honey at the end of the game because it says nectar. So we're halfway there. So we're getting 2 right now. All right. Because that says nectar, total nectar clusters versus 1 nectar of each type. I'm going to put that up because I don't want to mess that up because that will actually make a difference. Collect nectar. Yeah, so these are definitely the nectars. Clusters. Some require clusters. A cluster is a group of 3 cells. Alright. So some contests require clusters. That's what this is. A cluster is a group of 3 cells that are all adjacent to a single space in your hive, creating a triangular formation. Oh, okay. If 3 cells contain nectar tiles, this is known as a nectar cluster. That is what we need. If the 3 cells are empty, this is known as an empty cluster. Each cell can be part of multiple clusters. So this right here, this triangle shape, that is 1 nectar cluster. So we only have 1 right now of that. So we really need to focus on getting a lot of foraging and things onto our board. And then, in terms of nectar types, we have 2 of them. So right now we're actually doing better on this one than this guy. but it's okay. These can count for multiple ones, so in theory, if I can make another one right here, I'd have a second nectar cluster. So bear with me, we are figuring this out as we go. As I mentioned, I don't typically do how to play videos. This just didn't have one yet, so I was hoping that it might be helpful for somebody else trying to figure this out and save you from having to read some rules as we go. Alright, so I'm done with my turn, so now our drone friends are up. So they are going to remove a buckwheat. So I could either remove this one or drop that all the way down. Again, I don't necessarily want to drop them all the way down, but I think I'd rather not remove things yet, knowing I need to have a lot of stuff on my board. And removing things kind of makes it more complicated to get around. So I think we're going to drop the buckwheat down just one more time, especially knowing we're going to want things down here. These also get flipped over now, so I can see what's coming next. Yes, we definitely want to be able to produce more buckwheat, and I don't think I want to get rid of the one closest to me. And then we're going to move the bee to produce. So the bee is, nope, that's this bee going right there. So I cannot take a produce tile. That is okay. I unfortunately am on the tile that I would like to be on, and I can't stay on that tile. So one thing that I do not have a lot of right now is money. So I think I'm actually going to use a bee. I could place 2 bees to take another forage tile. Nah, we're gonna do it. We'll put 1 here for now. And I'm going to take the one that will give me money when I complete the thing. And I am going to do that right here. So this one, again, this is the buckwheat shape, so I really want to make sure that that tile doesn't go anywhere because it's the only one that's close to me right now. This other guy is all the way over here, and the odds of me getting over there anytime soon are expensive or not likely. So we'll do this. So this will gain me another bee. So throw him in the nursery. This will gain me 5 coins. I want to have these because at some point I think I would like to be able to purchase a decree, but that does cost me 5, so it's going to be a little bit pricey. And then the forage, or not the forage, the produce, I'm going to keep my fan right where it is. I think I am allowed to do that. If I cannot, that will be a little bit sad, but I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, so when the action's done, I can remove my fan and keep it nearby. So I could, theoretically, this was off the board, and I can put that back on here. And I will collect my 2 sunflowers again, and another buckwheat. And that will be it. So I think what I'm going to start focusing on now is I have a nice empty spot where I could be producing things. If I can complete another one and maybe have 2 tiles in it that allow me to forage and fill in these spots, that would be great. So I think we're going to start thinking about trying to complete that as we're going. And for that sake, I'm actually going to put that this way because I think I'm going to be trying to complete this side over here. I do really like that this kind of shows you the shapes that you're going to be going for here. So like right now, I know the only thing that I'm going to be able to potentially put in here would be a, where is it? The sunflower tile, because of how the pattern is laying out. In theory, if I had gone like this, I could be making a different shape, which could potentially be useful to make different things happen over here. But we completed that, so we're just going to leave it as is. So our drone bee friends are up now. So Aster is getting moved down 1, or I could remove a thing on the board. There's a lot of Aster, or not a lot of Aster, but I don't have any yet, so I'm not super concerned about selling it. We're going to just leave that be, and then new bee is going to be blocked, so he's over here, so I cannot get any more newbies. Back to me. As I mentioned, I think I would like to start focusing a lot on these guys. I'm also looking to see, right now I have a bunch of this leaf, one of these, and none of the other ones yet. So this tile might actually be really good for me because I can check off 2 different leaves. So in order to place a bee here, I need to stack my bees so they're taller than the previous stack of bees. So I can do that, and I'd be able to take 1 of these. Now, I'm trying to think about how I could lay these out and make a shape that is not just the basic shape that was on here before. Okay, so that could potentially be an option. I go like this. I'm trying to be able to make this guy here. So I think that that might be good, because then I can have another one that goes this way and the one that sits on the top. And then this one will get filled in sooner or later. Alright, so we're going to do that. Now the drone bees are going to go. Strawberry tree. Again, this is the one that I want. However, I'm not immediately next to getting it, so I think I'm okay this time actually letting that get removed and trying to save this from dropping down a little bit. And then they are going to move to the forage space. Alright, now I have no bees left, so it's time for me to recall all my bees. So I am going to recall some bees here. We now have a lovely hearty stack of bees. And I can do the move onto a space thing. So this doesn't really help me, but fruit is still useful. I haven't really been focusing all that much on collecting it because I am not selling things just yet, but I think because of the goal where when we sell things, you can gain extra points, and right now fruit hasn't moved down, I do think it might be a good idea to collect a fruit. So I will collect a little pair and be done with my turn. Back to our drone bees. They are going to highest honey and fruit. Oh, that's a little sad. So we are going to drop the fruit down, and then these are all tied, so I do believe I get to pick which one, so I will drop the aster down, and then they are going to move onto the accounting space. So I cannot go there. That's okay. I don't really love where everything's at right now. I would have kind of liked an extra one of these. However, right now, if I have some resources here. So I have 2 of these, I have 2 of these. So I can actually complete this one if I wanted to. So if I were to fill in, I have 2 forage things, and then I could go to the market and sell some stuff. I could also just fan and collect extra resources, so I have a lot of things, but there's nothing really new that's happening there, so I think we're gonna go to the market and try to complete the decree. So we're gonna take one of these tiles. I will add that over here. Oh, this is good. This is actually a different shape than I initially thought I was going for. This game absolutely amazes me for how they made the shapes happen. I still don't know how it works, and it breaks my brain a little bit every time I try to figure it out. So I am just thoroughly impressed with how this came out and how it happens and how it works. Alright, so first up, I have a thing that gives me 5 points, so I will take the 5. A thing that gives me a baby bee, so it's going in the nursery. I have 2 forage actions and 1 market action. So initially my thought was to go here to complete this thing first. However, I think I'm actually going to go this way, because then I can pick this one up and get my buckwheat. Fill that in right there. And then I get to do another forage action. So I can go here and take an apple. Alright. Now, if I were to complete this one at some point, I would get to take a bonus action of my choice. But I could potentially do this and then produce. So we're going to the market, that's the next thing. And we're really just debating, do I want to sell some fruit? So I could get a lot of points right now for selling my fruit. I could also hold it and wait and see if I get more fruit along the way. I could complete my market action, which actually I think is going to be the thing I am going to do. And then, yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. Because we do want these, and now we have 2 different triangle clusters here. So we'll complete this one. So I'm going to trade in these 2, take this, so now I have 3 of them. I'm going to start stacking them this way. And then that gives me a bonus fan action. I can either go for, either way it's the same thing because of where they're placed. So I'll go here and I'll get 1 of these and 2 sunflowers. And that's it. And what's nice now, so now I have 2 of these leaves, 2 of these leaves, and 1 of that leaf. So I have 5 or 6 leaves? 6 leaves. And if I can get another one of these gold leaves, I'll actually have 2 sets, which would give me an extra 10 points. So for example, that piece is looking pretty great right now because it heads on some extra things that I don't already have. Versus like this one, I don't really need more of that leaf yet as much as I like the decrees. Now, our bee friends are up. So Aster is going to drop down, and the market is going to be blocked off. Which is kind of okay, because I really would prefer that forage action. So, now looking at what we got here. So again, I could try to go and fill this guy in. But as I mentioned before, this shape and this shape are the 2 that I'm really trying to work to complete now. So I think we're going to try to focus on getting up here. So this is going to have a forage action. I would like a action that lets me produce at some point, and this, I really want this leaf tile to not disappear. I also realized as I'm moving, I'm supposed to be alternating the bees downward, so on the bees next turn, I'll show you what's supposed to be happening. I forgot I read this rule and then didn't remember to be using it. Okay, so this, in order to make the shape I'm going for, needs to go that way. Alright, so nothing too exciting happened this turn. Didn't actually complete anything in particular, but that's okay. So now, our bees are up again. Order card. Alright, so when they get you an order card, we remove one, but I don't remember specifically which one we're removing, so let's confirm. So order card is choose one of the face-up orders, which this one should be flipped over now. And remove that order card from the stack, return it to the game box, and flip the next card. So right now, looking at what order cards are available, this one is going to be pretty easy for me to get, so I don't really want to get rid of that. This guy is a little bit more challenging. This one is also probably going to be pretty easy because I have a lot of stars. This is obviously worth a few more points, but that's okay. We are going to discard this one, just going to put it off to the side, and flip that over. And then the bee is going to mark it. So he's down here already. So, as the thing that I've been forgetting to do, with the leaf expansion, you are supposed to be cycling through your leaves. So as a bee goes there, he moves the tile to the bottom of the pile. So let's pretend I've been doing that all game and just take this as a learning curve. Alright, so this pile is down to only 1 card now, which is worth noting. This one still has quite a few, and these have about 2 left. Alright, so now I am up again. Thankfully, the bee did not steal the produce spot, because I would really like that, I think. I could either go for, yeah, I think that's going to make the most sense. Yeah. Alright, so we are going to move a bee over here. I will take the producing and go in this way. So I've completed that one now. So I will get to do the forage option twice, the produce one once. I keep calling this produce. It's not. It's forage. Think like gathering and then producing is later. And then I will gain 5 points. So I'll start by gaining the 5 points because that's easy. And then I will do the gathering piece. So I want essentially these 2 shapes. One for here, one for here. So this pathway right here is looking pretty good for me. So I'm going to move here, and I will collect this one, which will go right in here and make some more clusters. So now I have 1 cluster, 2 cluster, 3 cluster. So we're getting out of the negative slowly but surely. And then I will move here and collect this one. So now we do have all 4 types of nectar, which is great because that's going to gain us the 15 points. So now we really just need to get the points up a little bit on these 2. And we're getting there. We have 3 already for this, so soon enough we're going to be gaining essentially a 10-point comparison from where we are at -5. We're going to go to 5, which would bring us to 20 points. And then if we can get, we just finished our 4th cluster, so 1 cluster, 2 cluster, 3 cluster, 4 cluster. So we are positive now. So we're at 20. We can get to that one. We'll get to 25. Then we only need to get 10 more points among those things over there in order to actually be able to win the game. Bearing in mind, the game is starting to come down here. We're running lower on the cards. The pieces are moving down the board. But I'm feeling confident and like we might be able to pull this off. Especially because this guy right over here is close to being able to be filled in. If I can get a nectar that fits in the middle there, that would be good. And this one, I think if I can get this to be 2 orange pieces on the side here, I will be able to put in, no, that one's not super relevant just yet. 2 white pieces would be more helpful for me because that would get me this guy and I could then fill that in. We'll figure it out. All right, so now, rather than flipping this last card over, this actually is going to get shuffled. And then we will begin again for our drone bees. All right, so Aster is moving down. Aster has hit the bottom, meaning it can go down no further, or I could remove one of the Asters on the board, which actually might make more sense to do. I'm going to take this off because odds are I'm probably not making it back over here anytime soon. This is pretty far away. And then the bee is going to go on the produced one, which is okay because I don't really need to go there right now. I was kind of hoping this bee was going to move because I would really like to be able to buy the decree, but that's okay. So now it is me again. Now I'm trying to think about what I might want. So I have things on my board where I can produce in several different spots and get a lot of different things. So this one's already letting me produce once. I do think I want to try to focus on producing some more if I can help it. Filling this in would be really good for me right now too. And I think I could fill it in with this potentially. So let's think about that. Because that's a forage action, that's a market action. Market action wise, I could actually complete this guy right now. If I produced, I could do something else, which would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, produced is blocked to me at the moment. So I have to think about, like, do I want to? Oh, if I do this, I can produce. All right, we're gonna hope that this works out. I'm not one of the people that likes to spend forever and half thinking about my turn, so I tend to just go with, this is what feels good. Also, I realize this should be at the bottom because he just moved here. We're gonna shuffle that down. I don't know why that rule is hard for me to remember, but it is. All right, so I actually don't need to produce twice. That's not super useful. So what do I want to do? I think I do kind of want to do at least one because I would like to complete this spot and get this. I really wish I could go for the fan, but as that's not an option, I think we're gonna go for this one. It also will only cost me 1 bee, so we'll take that, put this here. So now I'm going to forage. I'm gonna go here, take this one, add to my triangles. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, if I can get 1 more, we'd be in pretty good shape for that. So we're at the 5 for the clusters right now. All right, and then I get to do the market action twice. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is complete this order. which is going to cost me 2 sunflowers and a buckwheat. And I will move that up here. So thankfully we're not losing points in that category anymore. And then I will take my action here to allow me to produce. And this is where I think I would like these 3, because I have 2 of these already. Which this would actually allow me to get either of these or this one. And that gives me a bonus action of my choice. That might actually be pretty good. So let's go here, and that's going to give me an aster, a strawberry tree, and a buckwheat. So that was the first one of these. And now for a second one, I can either go for the 8-point and the forage, which doesn't help me a whole lot right now. I could go for this and another market action, which would let me sell things if I wanted to, or complete that guy. Ooh, this could be fun. All right, so we're going to use our market action to complete this one. So that's going to cost me 2 of these and my strawberry. Return that, return the sunflowers, claim this guy. We are now out of orders here, but we have 5 completed orders, so I'm feeling pretty great about this. And that lets me do 1 more market action of my choice. So I am going to consider completing this one. And my thought behind this is, right now, if I sell my apple for 2, or if I sell all of these, it's 4, 7, 9, plus 6 is 15. However, if I sell just the pumpkin and the pear, it's 7, plus the 5 is 12, which is less. However, that would bring me up to the 6 completed cards, which would get me the points. So I would be high enough right now that I would be eligible to potentially win the game. So I think I'm going to focus on that, because I think that is the way to go. Then I don't have to worry so much about completing more orders down the road. I can just focus on collecting things and selling them. And at some point I might still be able to sell the pumpkin and the pear, and getting the apples are the most common. So I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to do this one, and that will cost me, oh wait, I can't do that one. I don't have a, I lied. I thought I had one of those, but apparently I do not. So we will not complete that. We will, I absolutely should have had one of those. I think that I returned it to the wrong spot before. Oh, I returned the wrong one before. That should be the sunflower. So we can't do this. All right. I was like, I know we've collected them. We should have had one, and we haven't spent it yet. So now I will return my cute little apple and my aster, get that 5 points, and get to take an action of my choice. So I am debating whether I want to produce, which is what I think is going to be the most helpful right now. I could also forage and collect a pumpkin, which I could sell later for points, which is not a bad choice, actually. It moves me a little bit closer toward the apples, where I would kind of like to be. So maybe we'll do that. I will forage. I'm going to go here, and I will collect the pumpkin. Also, these guys are squishy, and I really like it. It's cute. Alright, so that was a lot of things happening in one turn here. So we're going to flip that over, flip this over, and the bees are going to be up. So sunflower. So I can either remove one of the sunflowers, I believe this one is going to be the closest, or leave it and try to sell it for points. And again, so I think I have enough points now to be able to score for the game. However, you actually need to get points in order to win the game. So in order to actually do okay, I need at least 79 points or 80 points to be out of the first category of ranked titles. So right now, I know I'm getting essentially the 45 points from here, and I'll get some points for my leaves. My second most common type of leaf is, I don't have that many leaves yet. I might want to focus on getting a few more leaves on the board. because if I'm not careful, I might be losing points on my leaves. Because right now, I think my second most common type I have 3 of. So I really need to try to get some more leaves if I want to not have to worry about that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of that one, and then 3 of this guy and 2 of the other, or 3 of the other one. So I might want to focus on getting some leaves. The game is going to start ending fairly soon. I have a handful of points over here, but nowhere near that. I mean, I guess when I start adding these in, it might be okay. So maybe we focus on getting some leaves so we don't lose points on here. See if I can round out my leaves. And again, maybe not focus so much on selling things. Alright, so let's see. I could complete another section over here if I wanted to, but this doesn't really give me a whole lot. It only lets me do the one singular action. Versus, if I start doing that, I could try to get some fruit, which might be good. Where this would let me sell things. Again, I mentioned not super thrilled about selling stuff. I'm really focused on the leaves. I have 2 bees left. And, oh, this guy is finally moving. He is going up here. I forgot to do that part. And then this then goes onto the bottom. And sadly, there is no leaf for us there. I do think I'm going to use my 1 bee and go here and spend 5 points to buy one of these. Comes with a double leaf. I can't really get over there all that often, so I think that would be good for me. I do think I'm going to work on trying to complete this guy over here, because if I can do that, I can try to get more, that's good. Okay. So let's go for that. There are still some shrubbery ones left, so I might be able to fill that in. Alright. So the buckwheat, at this point we have no buckwheat left on the board, so buckwheat has to hit the bottom. And the bee is going to move to the market. So he's going over here. Sad, because I kind of liked that option. That leaf would have been very good for me and not losing points on this one. But that's okay. Because I only have 1 bee left at this point, and there are not enough things left on the board that I can afford to do with a singular bee. So it is time for me to recall all my bees. So come home, bees. So they're all back over here. And I get to move, so I will move here and gain, I don't have any completed circles, but I can gain an apple, which would be good for if I do sell things down the road. And then our bees are up, so strawberry. I think I'm kind of okay with losing a strawberry because there's already another one over here, so I think we're gonna ditch that one and keep my value up just a little bit more in case I wind up selling any of the strawberry stuff. And then the accounting one, he's going to move over here, and I can pick which one. So I'm going to move this because I would rather keep the leaves on top. All right, so back to me. As I mentioned, trying to focus on leaves. So how many is our second highest right now? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of this leaf, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of that leaf. So if I can get one of these at some point, we'd be doing pretty okay. Right now I only have 3 of these, so actually, if I got one of these, this would also be pretty good for us, because that would bring it up to tie with my other one. And we still need it to be at 5, or 6 realistically, but this would double, that one has a double leaf on it, so that's kind of nice. I think we might go for that. I'm going to take one of my worker bees, and who do I want to produce, or do I want to leaf? I think I want leaves at this point. Yeah, we're going to go for leaves. So I'm going to take this one, and shove that right in there. We're running out of space, but it's okay. Alright, so now I get to do the foraging part 3 times, as well as a market action. So I kind of am happy about this, because the first thing I am going to do is go here and take that guy. He will go right in here. And then I will go onto here for the second guy and gain an apple. And then I will go here and gain a pumpkin. So that was the 3. Now I get to go to the market. So I don't have a whole lot of honey right now. I do, however, have some things here. I'm actually not sure what this one is. So we're going to break out our guide and see what that goal is. Let's see. I'm guessing it's like 2 clusters plus some form of honey, but I'm not completely sure. I also have some of the expansion cards mixed in from the Cornucopia expansion, so it's possible that it is one of those. Alright, so in this case, it's any honey and any one fruit. So I could actually complete this one if I wanted to just go for the straight 7 points. Or I could sell all my fruit for a lot of things right now, which I think is what we're going to do. I think it is time. I wish I had one more pair, but it's okay. Alright, so I'm going to sell I think I can sell all of them. I don't think it has to be a singular type. It specifically says, selling fruit. Sell any quantity of fruit, gain coins equal to the fixed market value. 2 coins per apple, 3 per pear, 4 per pumpkin. In addition, for each full set of 3 fruits, gain coins indicated based on the price marker. After the transaction, move it down 1 space. So we're going to do it. So this is, I'm going to keep 1 of each. So I'll sell 2 pumpkins. So that would be 8. The apple is 10, 13. Plus 6 is 19. So I will take a 20 and return 1. And the only reason I'm keeping these other ones is because I could potentially use them to finish out something else here in the future. Alright. And in theory, I could have planned that better and done this and then this part, but we're going to go with the order I did it in. So it's okay. Alright. So our bees now are on the forage part. So he's going up here. This leaf is going to the bottom. And sunflower is dropping down. Alright. So now, what am I on right now? There's no more strawberries, so I can't complete the fountain for a nectar, but that's okay. I could just complete it just to complete it and gain my actions. Sadly, I don't think I can get to the pears anymore. Let's see. Okay, so I can go across here if I wanted to get to the pear, which might be nice. But honestly, I think we're just going to worry more about this part at this point. So, leaves. Let's count the leaves again. Where are we at with them? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that one. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of that one, and 4 of the other one. So getting at least 2 more of these would be really helpful. So let's consider doing that and producing maybe. So if I produce, if I wind up selling things, I could sell them for, yeah. Or going to the market and just marketing, also an option. Yeah, alright, so let's take this guy. Actually, that's worth 7, 8, 10. Yeah, alright. Yeah, give me a forage. So I'm going to put this one in here. We're encroaching on the board a little bit, but that's okay. Alright. So I have a forage now, a producing, and a market. So I will first forage. So I'm going to... Yeah. I'll take a pumpkin. Hear me out. There is a method in my madness here. Alright. Next up, I am going to produce. And looking at things on here, I would really like the strawberries and this one because 10 points is pretty nice. So I'm going to produce right here. Gain 2 strawberries and an aster. So that adds to my little pool over here. And now I'm going to go to the market. So first thing I am going to do at the market is sell 2 things of my choice. So I will sell an apple, a pumpkin, and the aster. And with that, I will complete this guy. Let's put that over here. And I will gain an action of my choice. So I am going to use that to sell and take another market action. And for my second market action, I am going to do the 2 of these and the buckwheat. And I will complete this one. And with that, I will get to produce. So let me go and produce on this guy because that would match this one. And a buckwheat. Alright, so now I really do need to find out if the game ends because 2 of these are empty now, or if it's going to be once the fruit is also empty. Because that's going to make a difference here. Completing a fruit order. Follow the normal rules for completing an order. Fruit orders always require some combination of honey and fruit. Completing fruit orders grants the decree action. Fruit orders count as orders for all purposes. Changes to scoring. Score surpassed module specific. The end of the game. Nope, that's if I was playing with the Sunset expansion, which we are not. Alright. So something that I've learned here. The Sunset expansion should be included whenever you play with the Fall Flavors expansion, no matter what other modules are in play. So we did not do that, but basically the way this works is place the sunset board within view of all players and the sun token on its position. So we actually have another little board here, and on the top left space of the track, there's a sun token that goes on here. Certain events will cause the sun token to advance on the track. The progress of the sun token towards the horizon indicates how soon the game will end. The sunset track replaces the end game triggers for the base game. At the end of each turn, check to see if any sunset events occurred. If a sunset event did occur during the game, the sun token advances. The number of spaces to advance on the sun token is indicated by the chart. See table A, the table down here, on the sunset reference card. It is possible for 2 or more sunsets to occur in the same turn. So Sunset actions, so a stack of order cards becomes empty. So in theory, you know what? Let's see if we can catch up with this and see how that would actually have turned out. So here's our sunset. So at one point, a stack of order cards has become empty. So that advances it twice. And that has happened twice now. The last nectar tile has been collected. That has not happened yet. The last nectar cap has been claimed. We're not playing with nectar caps, so we don't have to worry about that. Or the festival board becomes full, so we don't have to worry about that either. So actually, even though we haven't been keeping up with this the whole game, it is kind of okay because the game technically hasn't ended yet. You have one more thing that could potentially trigger the ending, and I'm trying to see if I can put this somewhere where you can actually sort of see it. I think right here will work, where it's not really blocking anything particularly important. If we clear one more, it will finish. If a resource, there's supposed to be one of them. Oh, a resource reaches its lowest value. That would be that one. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A high tile stack becomes empty. It hasn't happened yet. The last nectar tile is collected, hasn't happened yet. So basically, if one of these drops to the bottom, or we clear one more of these, the game will end. So actually, even though we didn't do this initially, we are doing okay. And this is why we practice before playing things. So consider this your practice. Alright, so drone bees are going to be up now. So first up, I'm just going to flip our final order card over here. Aw, so cute. Alright, so the highest honey and fruit are moving down. So strawberry is moving down, fruit is moving down, and the bee is moving to the forage spot, which he's at right now. So I am just going to rotate this. Also, I don't think I ever stuck a bee on the board before when I finished that one, so I'm just going to put him here, because that should definitely have been on there. Alright. So now, again, I really care mostly about leaves at this point. I have 2, 4, 5, and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I can get this one up to at least one more, I will at least not be losing points for my leaves. So I think we're going to take this action just to be able to stop that from being a problem. So we will go here. I'm going to take this. And now for market purposes, I could complete this one, which would be pretty good. The stack won't have been empty yet. These are also absolutely adorable. They're little like geckos sleeping in jars. So I could do that. I could do the produce and the market action. I could also do produce and market action on that side. I could do 2 market actions and a baby bee. That might be good. I think we're going to consider that as a possibility. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to put this here. So I'm going to get 2 market actions and a baby bee. So we'll put the final baby bee over here. And then for my first market action, I will do this guy, because I will get one of each of these, put them back in the right spots, claim that one. We're doing really good on the orders here. And then I get to do a forage action. So I will move here, and I will take another pumpkin. So for the fruit, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can forage any of the fruit that is surrounding your bee. So I will take that, and then I get to do another market action. So I'm actually going to sell the pumpkins. So I could sell the 2 pumpkins and get 8 points. I'm a little sad to get rid of them because they're probably my favorite. Alright, and that is it for my turn. So flip that back over. Oh my god, it's a turtle! That might be my favorite card I've seen yet. Oh, wow, that's really cute. Alright, the buckwheat can't go any lower. And I have to double check what happens when it pops up. I think I drop another one, but I actually don't remember. I know there's a rule around this though. So If a resource cannot drop any further when it's supposed to, choose the value of a different resource of your choice drops instead. So I'm going to drop the sunflower. Yeah, we'll drop the sunflower. And then the bee is going to the produce spot. So he's coming over here. And this was going to rotate. Alright. Now it is back to me. I like this. I like the extra leaves. I could also use another one of these because I'd be able to make an extra set with them. So I'm going to strongly consider potentially taking that. Because I still can't go here and there are no leaf tiles available up there. And I think really at this point I'm focused on leaves. I don't know if that is the way to go, but that is what we are going with. So I will spend my 2 bees, put them over here. Alright, now in terms of finishing things, this would let me produce, and then I could go to the market and sell some stuff, which could be a nice way to end the game. It really won't be worth a whole lot, but if I can produce, do I have 2 where I could reach both of those at the same time? No. I was hoping to be able to complete this one. Can I finish any of the other ones? That one is the same. That's just one. Alright, maybe we'll do that and hope for one more turn. I think that's going to be the new plan. We're going to try not to finish the game this turn. We'll go here. So if the drones do finish before you, the game, you get one more turn before the game ends. So strategically, that's what I think the best move is going to be at the moment. And I'm just going to hope that this guy moves. And if he doesn't, it is what it is. Alright. Whew, we lucked out. He's moving to newbie. It's a newbie. He's going to shuffle. And that is very nice for us, because now our leaves are available, and we have nothing here, so it only costs us 1 to go there. And the aster is going to drop. So that will move our sunset here, and trigger our end of game. So I do get to take my 1 final turn because the AI finished before me. So conveniently, I have 1 nice little bee right here. And now I just have to think about, do I want to do, I think I'll just go for the extra 5.1 because I don't think there's going to be too much I'm trying to sell. I have a forage action. I have a decree. Actually, we'll go for this one. We're gonna spend the coins and see if we can get enough points to make it worth it. So I'm gonna slide that right in there. All right. So first up, I get to do a forage action, and it should be worth noting you can do these things in whatever order you want, but because I'm going to be selling things, it honestly just makes more sense for me to do it in that order. So I am going to come over here and forage. Do I want to finish any of these? I don't think so. Forage for a pumpkin. Or, yeah, I think if I land on top of it, it also works. I should confirm that, though. Let's see. Fruit. Yeah, it can be on or adjacent to, so I can get a pumpkin. So I will take a pumpkin. And then I have a miscellaneous action of my choice and 2 decrees. So I think this is where I am going to forage. So if I go to forage, or I get 2 miscellaneous actions of my choice, so I can forage twice. So we can make this happen. So I am going to forage first. I need star and what are those? Alright. That's pretty good. Alright, we'll go here. And I will take the buckwheat and 2 sunflowers. And then I'm going to forage again. Or, yeah, I think we still got it. I think it's still worth, is it worth more points to do that? I think it might be worth more points just to sell stuff. Yeah, we're going to just sell them. So we're only going to do the forage action the 1 time. So then I'm going to move on to my second bonus action, which is to take that could be a thing. So that would be worth 7 points. And it gains me a bonus action. Selling that and selling those is still worth more points. Okay. Nope. So we're just going to sell things. So for my first market action, I am going to sell my pumpkin and gain 4. So we're still not fully making up the cost of what we paid for that. That's okay. And then for my second action, I am going to sell these 2, which are each worth 4 as well. So they are worth 8. 10. Return these 2. All right. And now it is time to score. So first up, we need to double check this. We definitely have more than 6 of these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get the 15 points for that. Nectar clusters, we established were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get 15 for that. And then I have at least 1 of each type of nectar. So I get 15 for that. So that would actually be 45. And I only needed 35. So success on that point. So now it is time to score. Normally I would use my calculator for this, but it is currently in use for filming. So bear with me while we do math. I'm going to actually grab a piece of paper or something to write on because there's a lot of numbers here. So hold on one moment, YouTube friends, and let me grab some paper. Alright. Okie dokie. So for scoring, we now score a lot of different things. Alright, so let's see how final scoring works. So final scoring. First up, we're going to tally up the coins. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. Then we are going to just use this one. There we go. Yep. Honey and pollen, so I think in this case it would be honey and fruit. Score 1 point for each one we have left. So we have 1 left, so that brings us to 46. Contests, so we got 45 points from those. That brings us to 101. That's not right. 91. Don't judge. Math in my head is not my strong suit. All right. So next up, the leaves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold leaves. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pointy leaves. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the flat leaves. So we don't gain any points, but we also don't lose any points for that one, because 6 is our second highest. However, we have quite a few leaves. So what did I say? 7, 6, and 6, so 12, and so 19 points worth of leaves. 19. So that brings us to 110. And we have 6 full sets then. They're worth 5 points each, so that's 130 points, or that's 30 points, which brings us to 140 points. And then orders. We have a lot of points in these. We have, come here, 7, 14, 21, 30, 40, and 16 is 56, and that one is 61, 67. Holy moly, we're doing good on points here. So that totals up. Brings us to a grand total of 207. And now we just need to see if we lose any points for any of the modules, but I don't believe that we do. certain modules you can lose points for kind of as you're totaling. But it says they have deductions listed in the top left-hand corner if they were in the contests, and I don't see any of them on here, so I'm going to go with our total score was 207, which is high royalty, but I'm going to contribute the fact that we did some things definitely a little wrong that might have complicated this. Either that or we just had a really good game. If you are familiar with this, please feel free to let me know. I'm looking in the rulebook right now, though, to see if we do take any points away from having added on the extra things. I don't see them explicitly marked, so I don't think that's the case, but if that is actually what we scored, we did really, really well here. So congratulations, go us. We cheated a little bit a few times by forgetting to cycle through some things. But in general, I think this is the general gist of how Fall Flavors Honey Buzz plays. If you have not played Honey Buzz, the regular game, before, it is absolutely one of my favorite Euro solo games. It is thinky, it is fun, the pieces are great, very thematic. Really would recommend. But if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comment. If I figure out anything that I've been doing wrong, I will also leave a note. If you figure out anything I'm doing wrong, please try to leave a note that way as well. Otherwise, we're just going to count on the fact that we did really good, and go us! So enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.